Grandma, I know this is the latest technology, but did you hear about this? Because the fact is, Rick, technology touches everybody pretty
Oh,
much
sure,
these days.
sure.
Whether you're 0 years old or you're 100 years old, technology is somewhere
I've
inside
said it before, I'll say it again. In about 100 years from now, people like Bill Gates and Stephen Jobs, they're going to be revered as like the next gods.
Wow, yes.
People in the future are going to look at them like call them the Messiah. You know, like
Messiah.
They're going to have churches, you know, where you go pray to, these people.
Well,
Because
I mean,
that's how much they changed the world.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, think about it. The insight that these people had, it's just incredible.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, how were they able to reach into their psyches and have the confidence
All
to
the
do
big
what they've
companies
done?
back in the early days of computing, like
Yeah,
HP
yeah.
and
I'll
IBM.
put your mic a little closer if you don't mind.
Sure. They thought that selling the PCs was all important, right? And Gates turns around and says, "Hey, would you guys mind if I sold that MS DOS thing, like off on the side?"
Yeah, yeah.
And they like
kinda
laughed at him and
expensive.
like, "Yeah, do whatever you want, kid." Yeah.
Yeah.
And that became a thing. And how he got so big was he gave away what he couldn't sell.
Right. I guess many people, I assumed everyone knew the Bill Gates story of how he was just this programmer guy and kind of IBM gave away what they had and he turned it into a multi-trillion-dollar enterprise.
The first 3 versions of Windows, you could just put all ones in the activation code, and it would just activate.
Where does-
Windows Server, Windows NT,
Yeah.
just put all ones in, and so he gave away what he couldn't sell, and so they became the de facto standard. They become the operating system that got installed, because Linux was still kind of complicated for the regular person. Windows, you just stuck a CD and ran the setup, and boom.
Sure, before that, the colleges were running early versions of Linux operating
Yep.
systems, and
Yep.
it was kind of really completely unwieldy compared to where it is now.
Yeah.
But let me go on here. We have an exciting show.
A lot for you
We're
tonight.
going to be talking about the best inventions of 2021 by Time Magazine.
Yeah, we'll let you guys decide.
We're gonna only touch upon a couple of items. I think there's 100 on the list. We'll probably go through about 15 or 20. Really exciting stuff. Even as techno guys, did not know this existed. Secondly, we're going to be talking about some 5 really important, noteworthy hacks that took place in the last 3 to 4 months.
And we're also going to talk about the first ever cyber attack that was ever documented against our country from a KGB paid German dude.
Yes, a great story.
Yep.
Really, I can't wait to hear that story actually,
Cool
because
story.
books have been written about it. It's incredible. And then we're gonna end the show with a really important segment where Rick and I are gonna be talking about what is it gonna take to become a cybersecurity specialist. A lot of people come and ask us, how do I get into computers?
What are the certifications?
But now, now you're in computers, you're a tech. How do you grow and become a cybersecurity
how do you get from
specialist?
here to there?
Yeah, and we're going to give you about 9 tips and tricks from a great resource. We'll pull it up. We'll talk about it.
Yep.
Really give you something to think about when you
Absolutely.
look at this stuff.
Good stuff.
And thank you for coming. We really look forward to an interaction. This is an interactive show. We did a pilot program for a few shows, and we've just kicked off our new channel. We're looking forward to really growing something big here. I want to introduce a couple of people that are in the studio besides myself and my special guest, Rick.
Yes, we have some good friends with us
And
tonight.
you want to introduce your friends first?
Yeah, well, they're all my friends now.
Well, of course, but we'll leave the best.
Okay. I'm gonna start off with our good friend Scott Arena,
Scott Arena,
The-
excellent.
the great renowned bass player of Long Island and thereabouts.
Yes.
Yeah.
An engineer with extreme experience, and
Yep.
and I believe you worked in broadcasting for many years, which is
He's going to become our announcer.
Going to hopefully become our announcer. He's got that deep voice.
Yeah, yep.
And I'm sorry, when I first moved to this country, it's going to date me again, but if you remember the monster truck exploding video. So when I was a kid, there was no internet. My parents used to take me to the Nassau Coliseum to take monster truck races.
Yeah.
And he used to do the commercials for
Yeah.
them. So produce them. So really
Yeah.
awesome. Very memorable. Especially my friends I grew up with in Port Washington. If you remember those videos, he was the guy, you know? So excellent. And please introduce your other guests.
Hassan Kumar.
Hey,
My former student of mine, really, really super guy. Just we've been cooking up. He's actually works at the same company I work at.
Wow,
in
fun.
different locations, but
Sure,
same company.
sure. They're a global company.
But he's Scott and Hassan are both former students of mine.
Oh boy.
So.
And they're here to talk about it.
Later on,
they survived to speak about it on the show.
We're saving the best for last. We're going to have them join the conversation toward the end of the show. Pull the camera back a little bit.
Please, absolutely. And excellent. And you brought your friend. You want to introduce Luis Perez? Hey, how are you?
Hey.
And
you said you're in the restaurant
Chino.
business.
Yeah, I'm in the restaurant business. I came.
By the time you leave tonight, you realize you're going to be a cybersecurity professional, right?
I'm learning.
So for all,
much already.
That's
for
awesome.
Prior to the show,
all cybersecurity experts, especially the high-end ones like us, will tell you one thing. I live for food, so I can't wait to talk about food and see the restaurant. And our goal is to work so we can dine in fine places.
Well, that's what I said in an interview one time. They say, what's the guiding thing that you bring to the table? And I said, well, I really don't want to starve to death. So I think I used that with you, and I got the job.
Yes. Well, yes, humor played a big role in there. So it kind of all
with us, you think
it all clicked very, very nicely. So Rik, you want to talk about the best inventions of 2021? I want to jump right into that segment.
Yeah.
I'm extremely excited to tell our guests here, and I'm going to pull up the URL. You'll see it. I recommend spend your own time on it. It's going to tell you what's happening in the future here. If Time Magazine is impressed with these inventions, it's something to look at if you haven't already.
Everybody's heard of that the device you can get on Amazon where you could hook it up to your phone. Same idea, and being able to do a sonogram of your heart. There is a company out there. They are called Caption AI, and what they do is they have a piece of software. Can detect even more things.
Okay.
I
think we had a little audio problem. If we could just restart here for a moment when we did the flip. No, that's all right. We just messed a couple moments here. If you could talk about that one just at the end there a little bit more. We missed a little bit of audio there on the last item. The sonogram made simpler. Excellent invention. Please continue.
Company called Caption AI makes a piece of software that can actually do a sonogram of your heart and detect several different conditions, like rheumatic heart disease, which kills about 1.5 million people annually. All right, and a lot of poor countries don't have this kind of technology; they can't afford it. This is an app that goes on a phone, and you just, I guess, put something on your chest.
On your chest, like a device or something, interacts
an
with
ultrasound of your heart.
Okay.
And the software, like, forget about the doctor. You can save the sonogram to bring to your doctor. But in some of these third world countries, they don't even have access to a doctor. So when they come in, and let's say the medical ships come in,
yes,
and they're triaging hundreds of patients.
You could have so much faster turnaround.
Exactly.
Oh boy. Wow.
And sort people immediately, triage people, so, get people that need help like to the doctor as quickly as possible.
Wow, that's incredible. Let me jump back here. Something that excited me, which was the OrCam read. All right, so making text audible with the OrCam read. Okay, so take a look at this website first. This is Time Magazine's website for the best inventions of 2021. You'll see there's a full list you can click on there that takes you through the sections you can see there. One of the first items you'll see is this very guy here, making text audible. So this is a little device that you literally browse over text and it reads it out to you. Now, it does pretty much a decent job, near perfect. It's about $2,000.
Well, I know, I tell you, this is close to my heart.
Please.
Because my ex-wife, who I'm still extremely close with, my son's mom, her mom, my ex-mother-in-law, she basically lost her sight. She loved to read. Like reading was her thing, and she couldn't read anymore. So this kind of thing would be like really great for someone that had macular degeneration, like she did.
Sure.
And allow her to be able to read books and continue that love that she had for reading.
That's incredible. Look at the way they're saying the OrCam read for 1990 can read any piece of text aloud.
Yep.
Comprehension difficulties, poor vision, dyslexia, any other issues, and I believe it's able to be ordered now.
Yeah.
So something to take a look at. Time Magazine's last year's inventions. Pretty awesome stuff there. Want to jump into the artificial intelligence section here, which is the second area here with the NVIDIA Omniverse. Right, pretty exciting stuff.
What's an omniverse? Is that a one verse?
It's yes, compared to a dual verse or a triverse. But NVIDIA happens to be one of the biggest names in the world for technology. They make those cards that accelerate video graphics, the Bitcoin, GPUs, streaming, you name it.
Graphic processors.
Virtual worlds are more for just gaming. They're coming up with this infrastructure. It's called NVIDIA's Omniverse, which is extreme hardware to bring graphics to an extremely high level.
Yeah, I mean the games today, the realism of some of these games is just astounding. I mean, I grew up playing Doom and Wolfenstein 3D.
Yeah, not a lot of 3D
you
there.
got like this way. You move
that was
it
early
way,
3D, guys.
It was and now it's like I watch my son play these games. It's like I don't need. It's like you're interacting with real people in a real world.
Yes.
It's just the and like frame rates. Like 150 frames per second.
Higher than that.
You can't. I'm going to tell you, you can't even see. Your eye cannot see anything more than 15 frames per second.
Now hold on. I love being in VR. They're promising us a photorealistic 3D world once we're on this hardware. I mean, talk about VR before, on crack. I believe them. They've kind of been leading the way here. Something to follow. NVIDIA's Omniverse. Read Time Magazine. I mean, they cared about it. I mean, they're not going to... and huge brand, very very exciting. Definitely would look at that guy.
It's from NVIDIA. You really got to take it seriously.
It's from NVIDIA, exactly. Adobe Super Resolution. Why is that important?
I don't know.
Because we have now excessive real-time resolution right out of our iPhones.
Yeah, that's true.
And you'll be able to take. What does that mean? Did you guys see Blade Runner, the first version, when he took the picture and he zoomed in all the way into like different parts?
Yeah.
That's what you're getting. Extreme high-end bit rates here, guys.
This was available several years ago with digital like sonograms and MRIs. You think about an MRI. An MRI is like a scan of your body, and it takes slices, pictures, right? So it goes to a radiologist. The radiologist looks at the study and then writes his or her impressions about what they see, about what this patient is going through, what their recommendations are. The resolution of each one of those slices is like 8,000 by 8,000, 10,000 by 10,000. Yeah, pixels. Whereas, like like your average picture, that you see on on Facebook or something like that, it's like what, like a couple of hundred by a couple of hundred, right? So it gives the doctor the ability to zoom in on a particular spot that they're looking at
and really get
really see it.
Yeah,
And so that's like basically, it seems like the Adobe super resolution thing is like making a little bit more accessible to the general public what's been in radiology for a couple of years now.
The reason I'm extremely excited for it is a couple of things. I've realized through meditation, spiritual awareness, one of the interesting things that's happening is some spiritual leaders say that the formation of water molecules will look different based on the mood that's happening. I wonder, as I'm able to get even higher end resolution products and microscopes to actually prove that out, does the molecular structure of water based on your mood actually alters what they're saying? So
I don't know, it's kind of like the quantum theory that
the observer
the observer changes what they're observing by observing it.
Yes. And now if you've seen the documentaries on that, they have these machines that turn off random clock machines, and they did this experiment where they had this square room and they put a plant in the corner and a light in the center of the room and turned on this auto generator, and it for some reason always shined mostly towards that corner where that plant was. So there's something to all that quantum physics stuff, That's all right. I'll be lucky if we have time.
I know, right?
For a lot more of this.
Time Magazine's hitting us up for $19.95 to continue our subscription.
They definitely want us to. Time Magazine is looking for subscription. All these places are. We're not. We have full-time jobs. We're here to share with you the knowledge we've built over all these years. Yep. But let's just scroll down this a little bit. Exciting apps and software. MTA Live Subway Map, really important. You see where you are live on that map. Now, there's been subway maps to actually see yourself moving down the thing. Is pretty exciting. I don't know. I really like that invention. The 911 alternative, where you're calling local police departments as opposed to 911 and waiting. Pretty big invention, actually. Believe it or not fully resolved in cellular until these days. There's a lot coming that. Augmented reality, super important. You're about to see in Q4 augmented reality really hit the wall, right? You're going to see Apple come out with the AR glasses. They are super, super cool. If there's a line to be waited on, I'll be waiting on that line.
And like
which means
else,
that my maps will come up in my lenses while I'm driving.
Like anything else, it'll be kind of expensive when it first comes out, but then the price will start leveling off.
They look super, super cool,
Cooler than my glasses?
Yeah, they look a little different. They're a little more Apple-y. Look like, you could take a look. We'll pull it up and talk. When that comes out, we'll be playing with it and talking about it. So augmented reality, overlaid computer on your eyeball. Love what's going on there. Really big deal. Lots of connectivity. Intelligent Buzzwell, something to know about.
Did you see the robot?
Let's talk about the robot, and we'll end at the robot there. What section was that under again? Do you recall?
Compassionate Companion.
Okay.
An 8-year-old girl in Armenia had barely eaten for days when they brought in Robin the robot.
Robin, okay. Yeah, I'm still looking for it. There's hundreds of devices that are coming out here.
Because kids, they love tech, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the little robot, right?
Okay.
So after 20 minutes of discussing, the girl's favorite animals and playing a game of I Spy, Robin says goodbye to the little girl, making her promise to eat, and of course she started eating. So I am so against kids getting too much technology. I think kids should go play outside and get dirty and ride bikes and stuff like that.
Well, now the robot will tell you.
But that's
the
cool.
hell you doing
they make a
indoors?
robot that can ride a bike. That would be kind of cool. But that's
But
only
wait a
what,
minute.
generation
When
away.
AI
maybe?
goes bad, at that point, like, imagine that robot like overheats and like doesn't let you back in the house.
Well, I
Like,
mean, do you-
play outside, play outside.
I mean, isn't that the problem? Like, like the whole preface for
Skynet.
the Terminator and everything, right? What happens when you've got a machine that's so smart and it doesn't want you to turn it off?
That's a very scary.
You know?
Yeah, stay outside, go play. All right.
If Arnold's still around, we should be,
Yeah, I mean that's some scary stuff though if you think
But
about
can I
it.
take it on the other end and say that, like, what if that's better so we could focus on more pleasurable things?
Well, I think that's the idea. Like, like people like Elon Musk, like, pushing for, us to have, chips embedded in our brains to make us smarter. Like, I know Kung Fu. Like, that he really wants to do that. But on the good side of that kind of technology is something me and Ed were talking about earlier, that they've got these implants that they just invented like last year.
Yes.
And people that are like learning how to use robotic arms, like replacement arms for like limbs that they've lost, the chip in the head actually it helps them learn how to use that robotic limb in minutes instead of weeks.
Yes, that's
That's
training.
amazing. Imagine you'd be walking in a few minutes instead of like going through physical therapy for like
6 months of training
Exactly,
with that device.
exactly.
Exactly.
That's an amazing thing.
That's beautiful.
But where does it stop? Where does it stop? That's the question.
Yeah.
When do we fear becoming a Borg? From Star Trek or something like that. How?
Well, isn't that
think
a
about it.
personal opinion? Because I'll be honest with you, if you're like I wouldn't mind a couple of implants. You know what I mean?
Okay, but what happens? What happens when?
I leave it up to the imagination.
What happens when you no longer can be technically classified as being purely biological? That's and
That's
You
subjective
put in a new
anyway.
organ, right?
Some
You know,
people think we live in a virtual reality anyway. How do you know we're really organic anyway?
well, we are in the Matrix, right? We could be in the Matrix. There we go again.
Nah, man.
For
but-
years, he's been trying to convince me we're actually in the Matrix.
Well, I don't know. Who knows? It's possible. But to be
You
honest,
you can't refute it. That's the
Yes.
problem. It could be really happening.
hold on. We grew up watching The Bionic Man. I wanted to be the Bionic Man.
I know, right? You wanted to get in a
Run all
horrible
slow
crash
and shit with the
and have
background
two new
music.
legs
I always
attached to you.
wanted background music while I'm running slow. Hold on. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know Bionic Man?
The $6 million man.
All right.
Lee
So
Majors.
if you're born after 90 something,
Yeah, you're not going to know that.
there was this really famous actor. What was his name, Scott?
Lee Majors.
Lee Majors. Okay.
The night the
Okay.
reindeer died.
Scott will be our specialist with all
the movie
facts,
Scrooged?
big and small.
Wait, I was born in 1990.
Okay.
And I never watched the movie.
I got shoes
Really?
all day.
Oh man. Oh wow.
So, I mean, I got
Okay.
messed up.
Okay.
Maybe
Got
my
your nose.
dad, I didn't
I love it. I love it.
that part
Yes.
You know how I know about it? Is because of Family Guy. Because they made.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
You know how many people know about old shows from Family Guy, dude? It's totally.
I see a couple of people like have joined the
Yes,
chat.
yes.
Please type,
Hey,
type
Chris, how
away
you
and send
doing?
us some messages.
Yeah.
Make them
Lindsay
happy
Wagner, the Bionic Woman. Now,
Yeah, Lindsay Wagner had a crush on
now
her.
I
Oh
didn't
my
want to
God.
talk about that because I'm going to blush. Okay.
Well,
But
now my present
it's
girlfriend
possibly
looks a lot like
Chris. The first girl I had a crush on was Wonder Woman.
Wonder
Was it
Woman.
really?
Wonder
I
Woman. You
think
like
so.
the dark hair
I
girls?
think so.
I always went
Listen,
for
when
the
you're a little
blondes.
kid, I learned to speak English watching those shows, and like Wonder Woman was like this. I mean, look what they did.
She was wondrous.
She was wondrous with that outfit. I mean,
Yeah.
who wears outfits
what
like
was-
that?
I was
Xena?
I
You
was
know?
more into I Dream of Jeannie, Barbara Eden.
Yes,
that
yes.
was my personal favorite.
Well, that's when you have to be a little older because that's from like this. They did that one in
yeah.
black and white. I remember.
I look good
my
for 104
first
years
season.
old, don't I? I don't.
But
Nah,
yes.
Not
yes,
even Nick at Night. Let me tell you, man. Not even.
But guys,
Disneyland.
but
That's
but-
where you can see a lot of this.
So
stuff.
let me ask you
You
something.
guys never saw it like F Troop or anything
Yeah.
like that, right?
So I just want to do a little spot for Time Magazine.
They're like looking at me like, what?
I don't know. Time Magazine's been around for a long time, and they're still in the game talking about these cool inventions. What a great publication, and they put some wacky stuff on the covers sometimes. People don't always agree, but They
They're
don't-
not getting my 1995 though.
They can have my $20 plus tax,
All right.
depending on the
He's gonna
state you're
pay
in, of
for it.
course. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Time
They should give
Magazine.
it. They should give it to us for free.
Yes.
Well, if you guys want to advertise, please feel free to provide this.
Yes, please advertise. You can advertise. Time Magazine wants to advertise, of course, And if maybe we'll playing old reruns of Wonder Woman while I'm alone here at night. So I think the show show must go on.
Yeah, I think
the
it's
show
time for us
must
to
go
talk
on.
about,
Okay.
ransomware
I'm supposed to be
attacks.
really serious. You went from this interesting topic of what's
But
going
we're
on.
having fun.
Well, we're having fun.
We're having fun, and this is what
Okay.
it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun.
All right, so on the next scene, I had it where I'm going to zoom in on my head to talk about these cyber things. So we're going to try to be serious.
There's
for
nothing
5
more we'd
seconds,
like
all
to
right?
see.
All right, so let's try to be serious for a few moments here.
Let's see the resolution.
In today's news, the 5 ransomware attacks in 2022 so far you should all know about. Pretty important stuff here. Let me go into
Well,
that
what's a
lead.
ransomware attack?
Ransomware attack, as you know, is when hackers throw up they steal your data and they give you a splash screen while you're working saying, if you give me some bitcoins, we will give you back your data. That has matured in many different ways. The maturity in the last year or two was not only do they want your money to give you your data back, they now will say, we'll put your data out on the dark web for everyone
Well,
to
let's
copy
quantify
if
this
you
for a
don't
second, because
need it back.
They're asking to be paid in Bitcoin, which
Mm-hmm.
is electronic, a digital currency, right? That can't be tracked, groovy, right? In 2021, the average cyber attack asked for 20 bitcoins. Now, what's the current rate for bitcoins?
I think it's 65,000.
Oh, come on, we all have it.
I think
on
it's
our-
65,000.
Bitcoin.
I don't even know, 40,000.
45 to 60, I think.
Bitcoin right now at the present time is trading at
39,000.